Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to our Wednesday webinar series, where today we are going to be hearing all about the very highly anticipated Soneva Secret, which will be opening early next year. Sorry, we're starting a couple minutes late, but I can see there's quite a few people in now, which is really, really good. And we're joined by Alan, who's the sales director of Soneva. So he'll be talking through the presentation with us. And if you have any questions throughout, then just let us know. Write them in the question box and I'll ask them to Alan at the end. If you have any problems seeing anything or hearing, then just let me know and I'll address that. But yeah, I'll hand over to you now, Alan, to talk to us about Soneva Secret.
Yeah, thank you very much. So Soneva Secret is very exciting. I think, yeah, Sonu keeps saying this is 30 years in the making. So it'll be our third property in the Maldives. It'll open in February, so not too long to wait now. The location of the villa, the location of the resort rather, is in the Hardalu atoll, which, despite having lived in the Maldives for 4 years and been going out there for the next 10 years since, I'd never heard of this atoll before. There's nothing there. There's not a resort there. It's the northwesternmost tip of the Maldives. And you can see here on the top left of this map, it's really a beautiful isolated location. The nearest island is 40 kilometers away, so very, very private. And we're building a small resort with just 14 villas. Reaching it is quite a journey. It's 75 minutes by seaplane direct from Male. For those of you who sell one of my old babies, Six Senses Lamu, it's a similar distance from Male to Six Senses Lamu, just in the opposite direction. So the island itself, it's quite, 770 meters long, so it's not a small island, but it's very, very narrow. We'll, as I said, have 14 villas, a mixture of 1 and 2 bedrooms. You can see we have 5 one-bedroom villas along the jetty, and then on the island itself we have 5 one-bedroom villas, 2-bedroom villas, and then 3 villas in the lagoon. Every villa at the property is sunset facing, which I believe is unique. So for those of you who have been to the Maldives before, you'll understand the logistics of getting around. You'll clear immigration, collect your luggage, and then the Soneva team will meet you as you come out. We'll take you around to the seaplane terminal in one of our Teslas, and then we have 2 Soneva seaplanes, and one of those will fly you up to the property. You can also reach it by seaplane from Soneva Fushi or Soneva Jani. It's about 25-30 minutes from those 2 properties, and a lot of the bookings we've had for Soneva Secret so far are people combining Soneva Fushi or Soneva Jani with Soneva Secret. We've actually had one booking for April next year, where a Soneva enthusiast who comes most years has booked our yacht Soneva in Aqua to pick him up at Male Airport and bring him up, and he's it doesn't have to take this long, but he's taking 6 days to sail up on Soneva in Aqua and have a bit of a journey, sort of exploring some untouched corners of the Maldives. Right, so the villas themselves, I'll run through them very quickly. It's a lot easier for any of you who've been to Soneva Fushi or sell Soneva Fushi with the sort of 27 different villa types. This is much easier to explain. So the style, I think immediately when you look at it, it's quite quintessentially Soneva. This is one of the villas on the beach. What you'll see here, the villa is completely open in the setting that it's in right now. But if you can see, I don't know if you can see my cursor, but if you can see the sort of tracks, pardon me, if you can see the tracks in the floor, there's some sort of just outside the bedroom, and then some right on the outer edge of the villa. The walls will slide out of the walls, so this can be completely enclosed, either just the bed part or the whole sort of living space too. for anyone who wants AC. So you have the choice. You could keep it open during the day and enjoy the breeze, or you can and close it at evening, or you can have it closed all day. So beach hideaway. I said it's a combination of 1 and 2 bedroom villas. That's not entirely true. We've intentionally not called the villas 1 bedrooms or 2 bedrooms in their names. The reason for that is, so in this case, the beach hideaway, it has a master bedroom, but it also has a second smaller bedroom, which is suitable for 2 children, and it's quite a good sized bedroom, so you can have 2 sort of older teenagers in there quite easily. It has its own shower room as well. So the what would normally be called a 1 bedroom is really a sort of family villa, but we also didn't want to use the word family just because it sounds quite unsexy. So if you're coming as a couple, but anyway, so for the beach hideaway and the overwater hideaway, you have the master and the second smaller bedroom. Every bedroom has a spa treatment room, has its own gym. You can see here the master bedroom right in the middle, and then the second bedroom sort of to the rear and to the left of that. The second bedroom, it's actually reached via a secret door. I'll show you that later on. Overwater hideaway. So again, same situation as on the beach. You have the master bedroom and the second smaller bedroom. All the water villas have a slides. Crusoe Villa, same layout, but this is freestanding in the lagoon, so it's not attached to any jetty. And the guests staying in these freestanding villas, of which we have 3, they will be given a small electric speedboat. It's quite a funky little thing, actually. I've had it drive, quite cool. And they'll be able to drive themselves back and forth to the island. So although they're unattached to the resort, they won't have to sit around waiting for a butler or someone to come and pick them up and drive them over to the resort. Castaway Villa. This is, as far as I know, the first in the Maldives. Well, definitely the first in the Maldives, the first I've seen anywhere. But this is actually a floating villa, and it can be tethered to 5 different locations. So guests can move this villa, so they can be in one spot and they can say we want to move it. They can go for a massage. They can go and have lunch or go and have a G&T or whatever it is they want to do. And while they're doing that, a little tugboat will take it along and move it to a new location. That's quite fun. Let's see. But yeah, I feel like this is sort of Sonu at his sort of Willy Wonka best, coming up with these quirky ideas. Beach reserve. So this is essentially 2 beach hideaways with a sort of huge central communal area in the middle. So like the beach hideaways had the master bedroom and then the smaller second bedroom, these have 2 master bedrooms and 2 smaller bedrooms. So it's an absolute photocopy. So you could quite easily have 2 families each staying in this, and they both have identical accommodations. So they keep them both happy. There's a floor plan of it there. And the Crusoe Reserve. So again, same story, except this is over water. I'll just run you through some imagery now. So I showed you this photo earlier, just to give you an idea of the sort of the look and feel of the villas. A lot of what's in here on Soneva Fushi, we have our Maker's Place, where we take all of our old aluminium from sort of soft drink cans and things like that. It all gets washed, melted, and then we make some cool stuff with it, like all the knobs, all the door handles, all the handles on all the cupboards, different light fittings, a lot of the glass as well. We do the same thing with glass at Soneva Fushi. We have a big glass studio there. So a lot of the details in these villas It's been made on Soneva Fushi, which is quite cool. If you're ever on Soneva Fushi, be sure to go and have a look at that setup. It's really quite interesting. Bathrooms here. There's the sort of children's bedroom. That's a treatment room. So as I mentioned, every villa has its own treatment room. Although the island does have a spa as well, and it does have a gym, a main gym and a main spa, but every villa will have its own gym and its own treatment room. Sorry, pardon, I've got a bit of a cold, so apologies for the croaky voice. So quite a cool feature, and I'll come on to it more in F&B, but every villa as well has its own kitchen. So the idea will be that every villa will have its butler, its assistant butler, barefoot guardians as we call them, and also a chef. So 14 villas will have 14 chefs, and I'll talk a bit more about that later on. But when I talk about it, you can see there that the villas have all have their own kitchens. The discovery door. So I mentioned to get to the smaller second bedroom in these villas is through a secret door. So it's open here. What will happen is when that's closed, that will be inside the second bedroom. And on that wall, which we're calling the discovery door, we'll have all these things listed here and more. So, you know, books and a Polaroid camera, watercolors, papers, you know, binoculars, all different fun things, walkie-talkies so the kids can talk to each other and things like that. And that will all be in there. So when that's closed, that'll be one of the walls in the kids' bedroom. That can be opened by pressing a secret button. And also the cupboard doors at the bottom, for smaller children, they open and they can also crawl in and out of the bedroom, which is quite, again, just quite fun and quirky. Here's the gym set up in each of the villas. So you've got your rower, some free weights, your yoga mats, your ergonomic balls. It's quite a good setup in the villa, but there's a more comprehensive main gym as well. The ceiling that opens, the sliding roof like we have at Soneva Jani and the water villas at Soneva Fushi, all of the villas will have the sliding roof in the master bedroom. This is the little boat I was speaking about that will take guests from the freestanding villas to the island. So this is this sort of little cool electric boat which guests can putt around the lagoon in. Water sports, so there'll be plenty to do despite it being a small island. All the water sports you'll expect, like snorkeling, diving, stand-up paddle, water skiing, wakeboarding, Hobie cat sailing, all of that sort of stuff will be available there. And again, you know, things that people love. I just got back from Soneva Fushi on Monday night, and pardon me, and you know, with my two small children, dolphin cruise they love. The castaway picnics, that's my personal favorite. I always think if there's one thing to drop money on in the Maldives, whether it's at Soneva or anywhere else, I've been to other resorts where they do it really well as well, it's this private island picnic. I just think it's so quintessentially Maldivian. Just, yeah, and I just don't know anywhere else that you can do it. You know, just have an island to yourself, have a great day, amazing picnic, take a chef if you want, bottle of rosé. It's absolutely magical. The diving is amazing up here as well at the Soneva Secret. They keep seeing whales. It's like an untouched corner of the Maldives. It's, I mean, right in the north, right to the west. To the west, it's next stop Kenya. There's nothing between this part of the Maldives and the coast of Africa, which is quite cool. Spa, of course. I won't run through all the details, but a beautiful spa set up there, and like I've mentioned a couple of times, the treatment rooms in the villa. And F&B, at the start I didn't talk about them, but the general manager is a lady called Josje, For any of you who have been to Soneva Jani in the last few years, she has been the resort manager at Soneva Jani. Before she was with us, she was with Lathala in Fiji. She's absolutely wonderful, and she'll be in charge at Soneva Secret. And her number 2 is a lovely guy called Damien, who has he's a French guy. He's been our culinary head of culinary at Soneva for the last few years, been based in the Maldives. So F&B is going to be really important here. So it was key for us to have an executive team with an excellent culinary background. So 14 villas, but 3 chefs. So we'll have out of this world, which will be set over water. Guests can reach it by jetty or via zip line. That's going to be something really spectacular. The living room, which is a sort of all-day dining concept. So primitive. We have a So Primitive at Soneva Jani and Soneva Fushi. This is about cooking over flame, lovely meat, seafood, fish, vegetables, all done over flame in a sort of casual beach setting. And then this in the top left, 14 chefs. This concept is we're going to have 14 chefs, all an expert in a different cuisine, and the guests can have them come to the villa and cook for them. So the rates at Soneva Secret are based on full board, so all of the meals are included. And if guests want a chef to come and cook for them in the villa, they can, and they won't pay any extra for that. So quite a fun concept. So indulgent, so cool. So like you would expect it at the other Soneva properties, cheese and charcuterie room, ice cream parlor, chocolate room. These are open 24 hours and complimentary to guests. So quite an extensive culinary offering, considering you know, there are so few villas. And here in front of you now is a list of the different cuisines these 14 chefs will bring. So yeah, we hit the highlights. France, obviously, you know, Japan, Italy, Korean food, Sri Lankan, Thai, a local Maldivian. So some very cool stuff. So yeah, it'll be interesting to see once we open how often people choose to dine in their villa and versus go to one of the restaurants. So let's see how that goes. But I think it's quite a cool concept. And yeah, that's a very quick run through. So thank you so much for your time. If you have any questions, please feel free to ask.
Thanks so much, Alan. It's so exciting, and I just think such a unique concept. Like obviously Soneva in itself, I feel like is such a unique brand, but this is like even unique for Soneva. So it's really, really exciting. And you've actually been out there, haven't you, this year? You went earlier.
Yeah, so I was there on Soneva Secret in September, and yeah, I mean, like I said at the start, you know, I lived in the Maldives for almost 4 years, and then, you know, for the next 10 or 11 years, I've been going out sort of every 8 or 10 weeks. And the thing is with the Maldives, like I just never get jaded by it. I always, you know, I get on a seaplane and I'm taking more photos from the seaplane than people who are in the Maldives for the first time. I just think it's such a beautiful destination. And what's great about Soneva Secret is that it's just in this quiet corner that nobody knows about. You know, and there are, you know, like I said, there's not another island for 40 kilometers. Yeah, for me, I love the idea of a small resort. I remember years ago, you're all probably too young to remember it, but there was a really cool resort in the Maldives called Doni Magili, and it was part of Parakram, which was Hoover Fushi and Nyala, and they had just 6 villas. And to me, that was just so cool. You know, just being somewhere with so few people. Sadly, that island is no more. I think it's now, I don't even know what it's called, but I think it has like 50 villas. They sort of extended it, but what I think is nice about the size as well, 14 villas, I think we'll get a lot of people take the whole island. Wedding anniversaries or special birthdays, groups of friends, family. I think we'll get a lot of that. It just feels like it's a nice size for that exclusive use as well. But yeah, no, it's very cool. The villas are stunning. I feel like, yeah, it's something. Sonu first spoke to me about Soneva Secret about 10 years ago, and long before I joined Soneva. So it's been something that's been bubbling away in his mind for a long time. So I feel like he's obsessed over every detail, and yeah, having been up there and had a look, yeah, I think they've done a terrific job with all the design. It's magical.
So exciting. But yeah, I was actually going to ask you about the island buyout, and that obviously is probably going to be quite popular and quite easy to do. So that's really good to hear. And then we've also got someone asking about the kids' den. So do you know if there's going to be any in the pipeline, some kind of a den, or not really at Secret?
Yeah, no, there is a den. Definitely. Sorry. Yeah, I should have mentioned that, especially having two small children of my own, and I've just spent the last week in Soneva Fushi's den. Yeah, there is a small den. It won't be on the same scale as Soneva Fushi and Soneva Jani, but it's there, and they'll do some really sort of cool stuff around art and food and marine life and all of that. So yeah, anyone traveling with children, it's very family friendly. Obviously, all the villas have these kids rooms as well, and yes, there will be a den. Yeah.
Okay, great. And we've got another question. How does the price point compare to Jani and Fushi?
Yeah, so it's priced above those two, slightly, but as I said, it's based on full board, so that sort of makes up a lot of that difference. We just felt with 14, so it doesn't include drinks. Drinks will be sort of a la carte, but we just thought with 14 villas and this concept of people being able to take a chef in their villa, we didn't want it to be something where people are, having to worry about the cost of the chef coming to their villa or any of that. So yeah, so the rate is above those two, but it includes the full board, so that sort of washes away a lot of the difference.
Yeah. Okay. And is there all inclusive? Is there like an option to add on all inclusive? I think there is, isn't there?
There is, yeah. So there's the Soneva Unlimited option,
Yeah.
which exists at Soneva Fushi and Soneva Jani as well, and Soneva Kiri. And so then if people book that, they'll have all their drinks included too, but also all of their spa treatments, all of their diving, all of their excursions. Yeah, so that's there. We tried that for a while when we had got the new villa at Soneva Jani a few years ago, and when we first did that, we had a mandatory all-inclusive, and it just pushed the price up too high. So now we've made it optional there, and we've done the same here, just so, because I guess as well, not everyone. I mean, for me, I'd get great value out of it. And I was talking, Olivia, with one of your colleagues a few weeks ago about it, and I was explaining to him that actually often we lose money on that Soneva Unlimited option just because it includes so much, and then people, and they absolutely should, and they're taking beach barbecues, and they're doing this, and they're opening champagne with lunch, and they're having 2 massages a day, and all of that sort of stuff. But yeah, I think it's nice that it's optional because not everyone dives and not everyone drinks, and not everyone is interested in the spa. So yeah, for anyone who is interested in those things, then yeah, it's excellent value for money.
Yeah, and I guess I think it is always probably worth it if you do all those things, because you're obviously not going to really move from that island. So all inclusive is such a good way to go. And we've got another question, which is, what's the total capacity for a buyout? So how many guests can sleep on the island at one time?
34.
Okay, perfect. Yeah. Another question is, does the island have a house reef accessible from the beach? And can you remind me how long it is? Don't know what that means.
So
Maybe
the
how long the island.
Yeah, the island. So to answer the first question, yes, great snorkeling. The answer to the second question, it's 770 meters long, but it's really, but it's quite long and thin, like a sort of cigar. It's quite narrow, and so for that reason, there are only villas on one side of the island facing the sunset. There's no sunrise facing villas, just because actually the island isn't wide enough. So yeah, quite long and thin.
Okay. And they also wanted just to reconfirm the opening date. So is it 1st of Feb, or is it the exact date in Feb not decided yet? Oh, I think you might be dropping out a bit, Alan. Can you hear me? Oh, sorry.
Sorry, Olivia. Yeah, it's probably my internet. Yeah, so you're clear now. What was that? Sorry.
Yeah, sorry. So someone was just asking again about the resort opening date. Has it been decided yet which date in Feb, or is it still not announced yet?
10th of February. 10th of February.
Okay. Well, that's exciting. Day before my birthday.
Oh, there you go. Well, good excuse.
I know what present I'd like
to come out.
Okay, and sorry, just a couple more questions and then we'll let you go. So read the floating villas, please reconfirm time to change. I guess that means like, is there some time of the day that you have to pick to move the villa? Is that?
No, I mean just during the day. It takes an hour.
Okay.
It takes an hour.
Oh, okay. It takes an hour to move. Yeah.
Yeah. So these villas. So because when I was first I was in a meeting and they're talking about these floating villas, and my first thought was that that'll be horrible. Like I've got no interest in. Be like staying on a boat, right? Like on a small boat, and I wouldn't want to sleep and for it to be rocking and all this stuff. But apparently that isn't the case. So the guys who built Hong Kong harbour, when they extended it, and rather than reclaim land, a lot of it is actually floating, but you wouldn't know sort of walking, being on top of it. It's solid ground, and that same company who did that have done this for us. So quite a lot of tech's gone into it. It's quite extraordinary. It's self-sufficient. It can be self-sufficient for like 10 days with water and power. The resort's solar powered, by the way, which I think is quite cool. Completely solar powered, but yeah. So the floating villa, it takes an hour to move it from point to point. There are 5. I think I mentioned that there are 5 different places it can be tethered, and guests can move it as often as they want to.
And when you take the villa, does that mean there's no extra charge to move it? It's just like that's all included. You can move it every day, no extra charge. Okay, I think the internet's going back on again. So, okay, well, quickly before it goes again, one last question, and that was, can you walk around the island on the beach the whole way around? And are there any restrictions, or are there any restrictions because of villa privacy?
No. You can absolutely walk around the whole island. Yep. Yeah. There's nothing to block that, so people can circumnavigate their way around on foot.
Okay, that's great. All right, I think that's all the questions. So thank you so much, Alan, for chatting to us today about Soneva Secret. And yeah, we've got all our rates loaded. I've double checked with Claire. So everything's loaded for Soneva Secret. So if you do have any inquiries, then definitely send them our way. And yeah, we've obviously now got the opening date, so 10th of February onwards, you can book the hotel from. And yeah, I think we probably covered everything. So thank you so much again, Alan. If anyone thinks of anything afterwards,
No, thanks.
Let me know.
Yeah, for sure. If anyone thinks of something after, drop Olivia a note and she can give me a call. And yeah, good. But thanks everyone for your time. It's really kind.
Great. And I hope you get better soon, Alan, before Christmas.
Yeah. Okay. Do you know what? It's from ILTM. I still haven't recovered. It's just a sniffle, but you know what men are like. But listen,
Yeah.
have a great Christmas, great New Year, and yeah, enjoy it
Thank
all.
you so much. Yeah, Merry Christmas, everybody, and speak to you soon. Bye.